Hey there, people. How the hell's it going today? Oh man, it's currently 2 p.m. on a Saturday. I go into work the next 5 hours, working 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I have my alarm set for 5:30 p.m. because I was just gonna get up, clean up, head out the door, go to the grocery store, pick up my noms for the night. Usually I get a box of pizza pockets. Mind you, that lasts me all week because I usually eat like 2 pizza pockets tonight, and then there's like 3 more left, so I have it Monday, Tuesday, or I have it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then Wednesday I just usually get whatever. So it's like you pay $4 and you get like 4 meals out of it. It's pretty good. Because normally I eat before I go into work, so I'm not eating all night at work. But yeah, I got woken up by Oreo. Decided to sing the song of his people. That's the arf arf woof 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 barf 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 arf 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 arf. But he had good reason, because there was somebody at the back door. Police. Yeah. So this morning I was involved in a collision. Oh no, don't worry. The truck's fine. I didn't get into the accident. I may have sort of caused it by going the speed limit, but I didn't get in the accident. What happened was, you know when I film, like when I'm coming back from like the beer store or something, where I usually cut off the camera, that street, just like, 1 second here, my phone just got a system update. Just gotta put the passcode in it. Ah, shit, that's not the passcode anymore. Now that it gets corporate email, I have to use a bigger passcode. But anyway, yeah, that stretch of road before, like where I shut it off, well, that's a school district and a residential zone. So they reduced the speed limit, like in North Bay anyway, probably in all of Ontario. The speed limit in unmarked zones within the city limits is about 50 kilometers an hour. In school and residential zones, it's 40 kilometers an hour for obvious reason. There's kids, they walk out into the middle of the road, especially now that they have cell phones, and they'd rather sit there and stare at their phones while walking along versus, you know, actually paying attention to what's going on around them and, you know, probably upping their survivability rate. So it's 40 kilometers an hour because it's been scientifically proven that you can stop a car on a dime easier at 40 than 50. So hey, whatever, man, science is science, I'll let it go. So I'm doing 40 kilometers an hour down that road, and I got a Mazda behind me, and the whole time I'm watching him, he's speeding up and slowing down, speeding up, like he's getting close to my bumper, and he's backing off, he's getting close to my bumper, he's backing off. Then all of a sudden he decides to shoot around me. Now keep in mind, the street's a little narrow because the banks are kind of screwed, and they never really remove them because it's a residential back road. Who cares? That'll just melt and we'll be fine. He decides to go around me, and as he's going around me, there's a guy backing out of his driveway in the oncoming traffic lane where he's going around, and he just wails into this guy. Now I see him hit, and I like nudge over to avoid it because he hit him and his ass end came up. Now if I wouldn't have moved over and climbed the bank a bit, I would have ate the arse end of a Mazda, and we would have had a 3-car pileup in the residential area. But I was able to evade. What the heck is this? Wow, this system update made my Android look stupid. I hope that's not permanent. So I was able to evade it, and obviously I stopped my car. I was like, oh my god. So I get out and go see if people are alright. Well, it was a young kid. Well, I shouldn't say young kid. He was probably around 25, 26, driving the Mazda 3. And the other person was like older than me, driving a Buick. I think it was a LeSabre. It was an older car, but in pretty good shape. Well, it was in pretty good shape. Now the RSN is missing on it. So I'm like, okay. So I pick up the phone, call the cops, and say, yeah, hey, I need to report a collision. Send an ambulance as well because, you know, there could be somebody hurt here. It was a 50-kilometer-an-hour collision. Explained the whole thing. Told them where we were. They rolled the cop. They rolled an ambulance. The cop took my statement and said, hey, okay. So I told him what I was doing. I said, well, I was driving 40, and I guess this guy was impatient, and he shot around me. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Might want to talk to him once he like friggin', because the guy was pretty shooken up when I went to his car. Yeah, but I would be too. Getting into a collision sucks. I remember that time when that drunk flew past me in the Trans Am, in that Alero. His mirror on his Toyota impacted with the mirror on my Trans Am. I was shooken up by that, and there was like no real damage. He just broke the glass on my mirror on my Trans Am. Whoopty shit. His mirror came blowing off his car like plastic versus steel. It's the way she goes. Yeah, I told him, I said, well, I gave him my statement. He's like, well, where do you live? Because we're going to need your, we may need to talk to you again. But I've been involved as a witness in accidents before. Like, I've never been this involved where I was the cause, but I was legally doing no wrong. I was just following the law, and Buddy couldn't wait. He had to like blow by me without thinking. Yeah, I wasn't expecting the cops to actually show up, and sure enough they did. And like I told the guy, I said, listen, I'll tell you exactly what I told the officer this morning. I retold the story like I just did. Like I was going down the street doing 40 kilometers an hour, and I guess Buddy was impatient and had to shoot by me. What can I say? Like, he's driving a little car, I'm driving a big truck. I've driven, like in my G6, you guys remember how much I used to bitch and moan about trucks and how it's such a pain in the ass to see around them because you're so low to the ground that you know, so you creep up to like an intersection and only to find that there's something in the way or something coming towards you, and you're like, oh shit, so you're like rush slamming it into reverse to get the hell back so that it doesn't take the front end of your car off. Well, I don't know what this Mazda was thinking, shooting around me in a non-passing zone residential area going over the speed limit. But like I told him, I said, you know, little car, big truck, couldn't see around it. And he's like, oh, you're driving that? And I said, well, yeah, that's what I drive. And then he's like, well, what made you like swing off to the snowbank? Because we saw your tire tracks in the snowbank. I said, I knew where that car's ass end was going, and I said, no, I just bought this damn truck. There's no way in hell I was letting it get destroyed by some guy who was impatient. I said, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to save my vehicle because I don't need to call my insurance company and be like, yeah, you know, some impatient idiot just rode off my truck, so you got to get me another one. And well, you're already charging me a lot for insurance, so you better just up those charges even higher now, because that would have sucked. That would have sucked big time. But anyway, I was going to go back to bed. It's currently 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Getting an extra 3 hours of sleep wouldn't change anything, so I just put a pot of coffee on. I'm going to drink a friggin' load of coffee, and then we'll, guess we'll head into work. Get this day over with. It's going to be a long one, boys. But yeah, so I was gonna tell that story when I got home, but I was like, you know what, I'll save it for the next time I decide to pick up the camera. Like, I wasn't planning on making this video today. I was planning on waiting for it, but what can I say? The cops showed up, woke me up early, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna tell the story now because it's fresh in my head, because I just finished telling it a second time to the officer, now twice to you guys. I repeated myself during the video and I do apologize, but it is what it is. So hopefully you enjoyed that. It's not much of a vlog, I know, but I guess you can understand what's going on. Oh yeah, and I gave myself a haircut because I realized when I was doing the edits for the last video that, holy crap, I had some like Krusty the Clown stuff going on over here. Like, this was growing out, but not so much up here. And I swear if I would have let it go, it probably would have been like, hey, hey! Pretty sure I probably would have dyed it green and white face paint and a nose and stuff. I probably wouldn't have gone to that extreme, but I probably could have. But anyway, people, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, you know where to stow them. And until next time, people, keep on vlogging.